Greetings, weary traveler, come. Warm yourself by the fire, and let us regale you with mighty tales, tales of adventure, tales of heroism, and of course, tales of Tamriel. I am your host, Arkaniir, and I'm joined by two of my backstabbing friends. Starting with the man, the myth, the legend, LotusOfDoom himself. How's it going, Lotus?
Good. I'm still heroically representing the pack, unlike some of us. But, you know, it's one day at a time, so...
You turned your back on me very swiftly, so there's that. Also joining us, the very happy Giggle Queen herself, the joy of the show, Pixie. How's it going?
Going great, especially since I'm not the only Queen supporter on the show anymore.
Yes, you are, but keep believing that you are not like everybody else, because now my name has been basically dragged through the mud. Well, we will see for how long these intros continue and people, if ever, forget what my 6 years old self mentioned way ago. But until then, this will probably be our intros as the chat joining us live for the shows keep bringing up as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, other than Arkaniir, I can always just call you number 25 at this point, and we'll just go with that. So
There you go. There you go.
That's my favorite episode of Tales now.
It is my least favorite episode, obviously.
You did this to yourself.
That is true. That is true. A strike from the past. It is what it is. I just need an expansion where we get to kill Iran, and then I can clear my name. But until then,
that's true. Prior to that, I don't know what you're gonna do. Like, you would literally need some type of, and I assume she's like immune to damage in game, right?
I mean,
there's that one quest.
Well, that's
wait,
great.
Is there? Wait, there's a quest. I can attack Iran or something like that. Hold on.
Well, I wouldn't want to upset you by explaining any of that. But when I was going through Cadwell's Gold, I was quite pleased with the outcome that I was doing my best to perpetuate. I'm sure you'll choose the opposite of that, but I guess we'll see what happens.
She's too familiar for him to kill. Familiar and warm.
There was no mention of anything warm.
Oh, we mentioned it.
Things up.
I think it fits well, actually.
Well, it does, but in a sickening kind of way.
Well, sickening for me as well,
sickening.
but you turned your back on me, Lotus.
Look, man, there's none of. I was horrified. I'm still horrified. Disillusioned.
I'm happy.
Yeah. Anyway, so we are gonna jump into news before everything else because that is how our show go. We don't have much though. Hopefully, I can get this out tomorrow. So for anyone who doesn't have it yet and don't know about it, can grab the Greymore chapter for Elder Scrolls Online because it is on sale in parallel to Black Fredas sale. It is 67% off on all platforms. That includes PC, Mac, Stadia, Xbox, PlayStation, also Steam, or whether if you buy it from Steam or website, there it is 67% off everywhere. The standard edition was also up to 60%, except on PlayStation apparently, because I don't know why Sony hates the ESO players like that, but
they're bad people, obviously. And when Microsoft acquired Microsoft, Microsoft acquired Microsoft. That old chestnut. When Microsoft acquired Bethesda and all subsidiaries, I assume that PS4 is now just, I don't know, bitter about it, and they're like, we'll show these stupid players. Take this. So I'm personally victimized.
Greymore
well,
is
you're on PC also.
That's true. I am on both. Please, Zoss, let me get on PlayStation.
the sales continue until different dates on different platforms. So for PC, Mac, the Elder Scrolls Online Store and Steam, they will run until December 1. For Stadia, they will run until December 3. For Xbox, they will run until December 4. For PlayStation, there is no standard edition discount, and the Greymore chapter discount will run until November 30.
And on PlayStation, we can get bent.
So by the time you hear this episode, and if you want to buy it on PlayStation, it will probably be over. So I'm sorry, PS4 players, if you haven't already heard about the discount. I will try to get this episode as fast as possible.
But it'll still be on December 1st, not November 30th.
If I can edit it right away tomorrow, we are on 29.
Okay.
Well,
We're
28 for
tonight.
you.
I just didn't know
but
what
I'm
day
in the
it was.
future,
Right.
so yeah, I'm a bit ahead of everything.
Yeah, you're in the future.
Yeah. Actually, no, I am in the present. You are in the past. So that's how
know.
I
I just
see
thought
it.
the first was Monday, and I just had no idea what day it was. That was my bad.
So these discounts include the Greymore Standard Edition Upgrade, Collector's Edition, and Collector's Edition Upgrade. So whichever one you are gonna get, it's 67% off, which probably will be the highest it will be discounted until, well, basically forever. I've never seen ESO go over 67%. So
Two-thirds off is a lot off.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
pretty cheap. And I mean, even with some of the technical issues that we've talked about and probably will reference, you know, it is still absolutely worth that just for the story and the antiquities and all the stuff that you get alone, because you get the base game included with it. It's performance issues aside, which in my experience have gotten substantially better with the patch that we'll discuss later. Totally worth it still. So what would that, man,
what?
what price does that bring that down to?
My prices are different, so I have no clue.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Probably like 15, 20 bucks, something like that. You're definitely going to get a lot of value for that much, for that little money, I would suppose.
Right.
It is definitely a great expansion, and Western Skyrim is beautiful as a zone as well in the game. So just to like explore, look around, do the story there, it is definitely worth it. Well, even it was worth it, at least for us at full price. So 1/3 of it.
I absolutely love
deal.
that zone. It's amazing.
And I even bought the
looks
Super
great.
Douchebag version, which was way more than any other version.
I didn't get the physical collectors, but I got the digital collectors, and oh my god, it's amazing. And I have my Garmer pet, and I love him so much.
I ended up buying it twice again because
There you
I got
go.
the digital collector's edition upgrade, and then when it became available, because it was out everywhere when I tried to buy it, I had to buy the physical collector's edition again. So yeah, this is the third collector's edition that I had to buy twice. I bought the Imperial Edition digital, and then I saw the box at a local store. I was like, I have to have this. So I bought it again. And then I bought the Morrowind Digital Collector's Edition. And then a year later, I bought the physical Morrowind Collector's Edition. And then I got the Somerset, and then Somerset again. Well, actually, Somerset Ag gifted me the
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Somerset
didn't Ag
Collector's
send that?
Edition. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Which was turned out to be not the best idea, because shipping a box of that size is, not
Horrifying.
Horrifying. There are also a lot of Crown Store sales as well, bundles of all kinds, mounts, things like that. So definitely hop into the game if you can and check out those sales. See if there's anything you fancy and is on sale. So grab them now. That was our primary news, but we also have a community news. And that is the guild contest of the TamrielTogether sweepstakes. And the winners are actually announced, which I got a sort of a broken heart here, because the grand prize winners start with the Dauntless Bananas, which fight for the AD.
Yes.
However, they put out such an amazing cinematic and high production video. It is I would love to be able to make videos like that on ESO. It has voice acting, it has cinematics, well, in-game recorded, turned into cinematics, effects and everything. Very great job. So even that they are fighting for the AD, their editing and production skills are admirable. Definitely earned the price there. Yep.
That is fake sadness from Ark. You know he's very happy that they fight for AD. Don't let him fool you. We all heard episode 25 at this point.
Okay, here's... If I became the Emperor for the Ebonheart Pact, would that at least prove
okay, if
my allegiance?
All right, you know what? If you pull off Emperor for EP, I will definitely see that there's some merit here that maybe you, because you're going to need to slay a look. I'm still thinking if there's any way that you could backstab me, but you need to murder so many AD to do that. That might be respectable enough to make me let this slide.
I'm never letting it go.
Yeah,
I know you won't. I know you won't, but you're AD, you don't count.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. I'm just thinking of how. Oh man, because that's the one benefit about this. I don't know, video. I was going to say poster, but it's like the video thing. So all of these submissions are incredible. Before I say anything, I look through them. These are awesome, and the more people that it recruits for the AD just means that I have more targets to farm AP off of.
That is a great
huge
thought.
plus.
That is a great thought. Also, I had the pre-show title on this entire time, but
perfect.
Whoopsies.
Great.
I can just edit that out in the edited version.
Fine.
Doesn't mean anything to audio listeners anyway.
No.
But yeah, okay, so there's the new objective. ST in chat already goes, I'll be there to prevent it, because why not? But if you are playing on PC EU, if you are fighting for the Ebonheart Pact, and if you're looking for a guild, we do have a DCN guild on PCU Mega Server as well. But also if you want to help me out in this, because there is my new objective. I just got that, new quest acquired thing. Road to the Emperorship, folks. I have no idea how it works, though. I don't even know the theoric workings of how to become an Emperor. I guess I'll have to do a lot of Cyrodiil now.
I will make this... I was going to say, not that I think you would do this, but I was going to say, Emp boosting doesn't count either.
I don't know how that even works, so...
It's so scummy. I won't even bring it up on air.
So basically what I need to do is be in the top leader... top of the leaderboard.
You need to be number one.
I need to be number one, and at the same time, we need to have all the castles surrounding Imperial City, right?
You capture the inner ring of keeps. You don't need outposts.
Okay,
so
just the keeps.
EU, Aldmeri Dominion, just needs to keep that from happening. So I don't have an EU tune, and I'm also just trash at PvP. So for anyone out there listening who is like me and swears their allegiance to the Queen, please block Ark from doing this so he can never hide from what he's done.
Keep throwing yourself at me so I can kill you more. I need to come up with a build for that first, though, because my current builds are not built on killing people.
Me and 580 friends actually managed to take Ark out pretty quickly. So if you just get a couple of you with a healer, you're good to go.
That was my NA tune. I am very confident I can fight longer. I will probably die anyway, 1v6 with my current build, but I will last.
Just keep the
so SD says,
coming.
look for restarted campaign, get leader, capture inner keeps.
So that is the best real way to, or not best, but the quickest real way to claim Emperor. Campaigns restart. There is a half-hour window in which the leaderboard will actually be blank briefly, provided this works the same as it does on console. I assume it is. In which you will basically have this time where nothing's happening. Then you want to get your buffs, you dump everything in, and you basically World War III anything you can to get AP as fast as possible. Once you claim first, you can just capture the inner ring. Problem is, the longer a campaign goes on, the harder it takes to overcome first. The thing that I was making reference to for anybody who, I might not know what emp boosting is people who intentionally give Emperor, to the other side, or people within their own alliance, by when they're in first and Emperor, there is a way you can basically step down from your own campaign and automatically boost the next person into first place. They don't have to earn it. They just automatically are in first place.
That is nasty. Also, my ring light is acting up. That is strange.
So you just basically... is it? Oops. What do you call it? Yeah, so that's not cool. Just get first place. That's the real moral of the story. It can be rough, for sure. But if you're getting quick, strike fast. That's definitely the way to do it. Abdicating and then boosting people in first place, and we're not going to get into boosting methods, which are gross. They get into it on the Red Diamond Courier, who's mainly PvP focused. They really give kind of the ins and outs on how to not be like that.
So
that's in poor taste.
7-day campaign? Which campaign makes more sense to do this? CP, no CP, 7-day, 30-day?
They used to be 7-day campaigns. There aren't any anymore.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they used to have 7-day campaigns. They're now month campaigns, and I'm usually during the events they have, I think, 2-week campaigns. Maybe they have 7 during the Mid-Year Mayhem, but yeah, basically the longer a campaign goes on, the higher the scores are going to get, the harder it's going to get to overtake people.
Yeah,
but and it is an ordeal, but it's also being good helps. But I am living proof that you don't need to be good in order to get Emperor. You just need to have a lot of things that keep you awake.
Yeah.
What you would like to use is up to you, but keep grinding AP.
That I have. Time I have. As long as I have an objective in mind, I can go stupidly long. I can do very long gaming sessions, as long as I have something to work for. If the shield that I wanted hadn't changed, I would have still been grinding at it. Now I only play on a single. I still do a lot of battlegrounds, but I do it on a single character because I no longer care about the daily win thing. So, yeah.
I got it from a daily win, I think.
Yeah, you got it on your first. Or second or something like that. I know.
That's my first one.
Yeah, just fuel the fire. That'll only return as more dead Altmers, Pixie.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
We'll see. Here we go.
They'll all have the shield.
There you go.
Emperor Arkaniir would be terrifying, just saying.
Oh, wow. That would be, not good for a lot of people.
All of your Guars would be executed immediately. So anybody who likes Guars should fight for AD here.
That
just
would
saying.
Me as Emperor, that's definitely 100% not an equal, just, safe empire. There will be a lot of chaos and a lot of bloodshed. I feel bad. So if Ark becomes Emperor, I feel bad for High Elves, I feel bad for Argonians, and I feel bad for Gwar. Why do you... Wait, what about... What? I never said anything against... You said... Yes, you have. Hippity-hoppity Argonians are property. Anytime I bring up my love for Argonians because you just like to crush everything I hold dear. Yeah, I'm not gonna... you don't go around smacking furnishing and stuff like that when you... I'm not against Argonians. They can live on. I didn't make the rules of Tamriel and its ways of living. Come on. My point exactly. He called them furnishings. No. He called them furnishings. I resembled them.
Wow, Chad. You can still care about your property. Yikes.
See, this is why he can't be Emperor.
Argonia.
This is why he can't be Emperor, clearly. So he's turning against his own people in the Ebonheart Pact. So he clearly, since he can't even stand with his own people, how can he stand with you and unite all of the people?
See, now the ultimate double cross.
You are going for the you are going with the assumption of that I am planning to unite all the people. That's not in the plans. Who said anything about uniting everyone?
Ark is not going to be a unifying, benevolent leader.
Yeah. Catch up, Pixie. You've been on the show for a year.
I mean, you did talk about how familiar Queen Irene was, so I figured that since she's so familiar to you, you might believe in her idea of equality and want to treat
here's
people fairly.
my theory. The ultimate troll, which I don't have enough time for this, which I would be a fan of, would be as if you closed in on Emperor and I swooped in on Swords with Boards to steal Emperor as an Argonian.
That would be amazing. I'd be okay with that.
Look,
But I do not have the dedication or time for that.
Argonians have enough power to basically run through Tamriel and raise
If they
hell
jack
and
themselves up on
burn
Hist,
it to the ground.
Yeah.
They just don't do it. It's their own fault, okay?
Yeah, they're just casual about everything.
When
They're
they
nice.
rally, they basically ravage through half of Tamriel. So they can
They're
do
nice.
it. They just don't. That's
Because
that's
they're
not
nice.
my problem. Well, they shouldn't be nice. That's my point.
Or maybe you should just be nice.
No. What? Am I going to be an Argonian now? Come on.
You should be an Argonian. They make fun tanks.
They make fun what?
Tanks?
Yeah, so far
It is
I
meta,
haven't
yes,
noticed.
sort of.
On that note of Argonians, playing Argonian on PC is interesting because I haven't noticed a huge difference. I mean, I also am not equal footing as to me being on PS4, but they're relatively durable and everything like that. But the one thing, holy crap, that potion buff is nuts. It's so many resources. Like, I didn't realize that I would feel it quite that much when I used that passive. And the other one, just for exploring, I had zero concept of how much fun it was to have double swim speed. I just, like, shoot around the map. I'm like, this is great. So,
I love it.
so-
I love the swim speed.
What I would like to try as a build, though, for real, is Argonian Dragon Knight with Arcus's Genius set. That gives you ultimate
my
when you use a
God.
potion. So, infinite resources.
you would
You would never
essentially-
run out of resources.
And
Legit.
you'd be getting the ultimate back, so you would essentially get the buffs of being a Nord and the buffs of being an Argonian
Yep,
at the
pretty
same
much,
time.
yeah.
Please make that and name it Chugs All Potions.
I like that.
I could actually give it a try, but I don't want to level a new character. Oh, I hate leveling
you
a new
do.
character. No,
Do it
because
on
then
PC
you
and
don't
A.
have any. No. No skill points. My problem is skill points. Like, I can level a character in a few days to 50, but because I power level them and don't do any quests, I don't get any skill points. And then I'm trying to open skill, and I'm like, do I need this morph or not? It's like budget skill. Yeah. But it could be a fun build. Arcus's Genius, Argonian Dragon Knight. You basically get everything back, whatever you do. Like, you
Yeah,
take
that
a
would be-
step, and you
I
gain
can see that
resources.
being really useful.
Now
So-
I want that.
I was going to say, now
There
that the
you go.
Argonian portion of the show, which went from ripping on Argonians to Argonians are far too powerful and we're all doomed.
I mean, see, that's the thing. If people listen just portions of this show, they will immediately assume I am the worst. I am not the worst. I am close to being worst. That's like there's a small gap.
Close to-
There's a small gap there where I give credit when it's due, okay?
I'm close to. I also like how my thing is usually people just assume that I don't like Altmer. I'm wildly indifferent to pretty much every race in the game. I am just freakishly in favor of the Ebonheart Pact. So I'm just like, no one else ever.
We'll convert you eventually.
Never.
I'm just
It'll
wildly
happen.
against
It happened with
Altmer's-
Arkaniir.
Oh, it did
Just
not
wildly
happen.
against Altmer.
It did too.
And wildly in
Oh,
favor of Aran.
Yes.
Look, you guys got your timelines confused, okay? If I had said it now, you would be correct. But I said it 6 years ago when I was new to the game and I didn't know much about the characters. And then now, over time, over the 6 years of period, learning more about the characters and everything, I am now fully against everything that is yellow.
No,
So,
you're
Come
not.
back to me when
because
you're Emperor Arc.
even last week, whenever we were hitting you on this, you were saying that Irene stands for equality and she's not actually bad, she's just naive was the only thing you had on her. You can't really say much negative about her.
she's trying not to be racist, which I am not against, except
No,
when
that's
it's
fine.
against Altmers, then I'm in favor of it. It's
She can only be racist against her own people.
yeah, which are also trying to kill her. So that's
Look, if she
works.
wants to renounce any and all titles and just join the rank and file of the Ebonheart Pact, maybe we could talk, Arc. But that's not how this is going. So
She's
until,
kind of the queen.
Look, she doesn't need to be the queen. No, the queen of just a place that we haven't taken over yet.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
were we
Her and
Also,
Chimera would be the best
we were
rulers.
talking about the TamrielTogether Guild Contest winners
Wow.
about 15 minutes ago.
Amazing. We're talking
did
about
this happen?
togetherness through wild
No, this has
alliance-breaking
happened
racism.
because the grand prize winners start with the Dauntless Bananas.
Yes.
And
Okay.
there was
Now it makes sense.
no way that wouldn't have thrown us into an alliance war. It is what it is. It's just it triggers every single one of us here. So Dauntless Bananas, congrats on your win and congrats
Yes.
on throwing us off the rails once again.
Yep.
Congratulations.
That derailing segment is just for you.
Also, we have another winner that we couldn't get to, and that is Gold Leaf Acquisitions.
Oh,
And
yes.
they have an amazing poster. I don't know what to call this art style, but it's sort of that. Well, you know how in churches and all buildings there's colored glass. I don't know
it's
what
like
the name of
stained
it is.
glass or something.
Yeah, basically paintings, sort of those like in that glass style. So it has gold leaf acquisitions, and then have an image for adventure, fortune, discovery, friendship, and it is beautiful artwork.
Yeah.
Like I don't know the correct
It's amazing.
technical terms for it, which is why I'm having difficulties explaining this. But it is
I
absolutely
can't even help you.
beautiful.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it's beautiful.
So very good job on this as well. Gold Leaf Acquisitions. For all of these, definitely go check out the article on the Elder Scrolls Online website if you want to actually see and watch these. We also have some runner-up winners. Nomads of Nirn, which I really like that name.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Itherius Art, which actually have a sort of made a video camera. I don't even know which items they used that to make that one. Museum and the Disenfranchised, which in their poster, they fight for blood for the Pact. So, there you go. If you are going to join one of these guilds, definitely join the Disenfranchised, because that's the correct alliance there. But congrats on the runner-ups as well. There has been apparently over 207 unique videos and over 370 unique posters submitted for this TamrielTogether guild contest, and that is insane.
That really is, and on top of that, everyone I've seen, because I've seen through people I know or just it getting retweeted by TS Online Official, just the different things, whether people are runner-ups, all of them look so good.
Yeah.
There's so, I mean, we already kind of knew that, like, the community has some insane artists. Like, the talent level in the community is crazy, regardless of what they're drawing, whether it's their original characters, whether it's, characters in-game, interpretations of things. And there's so many different styles of everything. It's It's really impressive to know
Yeah.
that many people have that much artistic talent in the community.
I know Rykoth's Orc Guild. I actually got to
Yes.
see their guild poster before
Yeah.
the competition
I
concluded.
love
and that was
theirs.
amazing. Amazing.
Yep.
Overall, like there is the poster gallery and YouTube playlist as well for all of those amazing submissions. So if you are up for it, I would definitely 100% checking it out because there's some absolutely amazing stuff there. So yeah, all of that you can find in the article on the website called TamrielTogether Guild Contest Winners. I wonder if Damien wrote this.
I'm sure he was
It took
involved.
me a second there.
It is what it is now. It's he's Damien.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm
He
never
has to
gonna change
legally
that.
change his name.
And that was pretty much the news we had, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't really news. It's just it was about to happen last time, and it's happened since then. But that push through patch happened, which console and PC got it at the same time. Which big fan of that. I've heard very mixed things. I personally, as you know, I always like to try to be as positive as I can, but when things don't work right, I'm also not going to like white knight for companies or whatever. And I was saying I thought beforehand I was actually probably on the crappier end of the spectrum where it was like, okay, most people do not seem to be encountering the same degree of problems I'm having. Whereas now I feel like I got the complete opposite where I feel like I might have actually had a much better response to this patch than some people have. I've only had like one freeze maybe in a week,
Nice.
which is not bad at all. I mean, single player games I play freeze more than that sometimes. So like the light attack weaving is totally back to normal on console. Shout out to some of my guildies who were posting their new DPS videos, which are horrifying because so many people can break 90k on a PS4 controller at this point. It's like, good lord. But that seemed to be working well. Overall, the world boss issue that we had against the
Void Mother.
what's she called? Thank you.
yeah.
Totally fixed on console now. So that quest
nice.
is now doable, which is great. Only lingering issue, I mean, granted, this is my experience. I've heard and seen from trials some people are disconnecting and all sorts of stuff. So I know it's not like a be-all, end-all fix. But in my experience, I've benefited quite a bit from the patch. So I'm very pleased to be able to get to play ESO more. But the only hold up, so to speak, that I'm still encountering, which is rough on the prog groups, 3-piece bonuses on sets that give you dungeon, trial, and arena specific buffs, like the minor slayer or major slayer, I don't know, whatever it's called, whatever the buff is called, where you get 5% less damage, 5% more damage by having the 3-piece. Every time you die, that buff is taken off.
What? How
And
does it
you
come
need-
back?
You have to unequip your gear and re-equip your gear.
Oh, that is rough.
That is miserable when you're doing Cloud Rest 3 proc.
Oh, yeah, because you
Miserable.
can't change like equip items in combat either. So,
No, you
no.
Yeah. It's rough. That one is a lingering issue. I was a fill-in for a VMall prog, and let's just say super proud of those guys in APF and gals when we got past twins because well, I forgot after one of the wipes to re-equip my gear, or unequip and re-equip my gear. So they did it without me having the Alkosh 3-piece or the Yolik 3-piece.
Oh, great.
So, yeah, kudos, everybody. But, Yeah, so that is something I definitely am hoping gets fixed sooner rather than later. Again, there's a lot of stuff. I'm very curious to see if it gets pitched. I've heard there's some individual problems. We're not going to go into every little tidbit thing, but it's mentioned in chat, the thing with Scale Caller. I know Scale Caller supposedly has some really bad issues. I haven't tried it, so personally I don't know. But yeah, at least in my experience, the stability level seems better. Hopefully it is for you too.
So, knock on wood, but since Markarth, I have disconnected one time.
That's not bad.
So, and that was like a complete, like, the game crashed, and I had to, like, force close it through the task manager. But I've had one instance of that, but a lot of my friends DC'd a lot, and I noticed the last couple times I've played, since the patch, it's been better. It's only been, like, one person getting targeted by the DC machine, whatever that is. Like, tonight it was the Slackster, just got booted from the game a bajillion times. But the rest of us were fine, except for Kiz once. But he probably deserved it.
Yeah, the other thing I've heard, again, not strong...
Also, I'm sorry, Ark. I didn't realize it was that loud.
It's like
It's an effect. It's an effect. Audio listeners will understand. Yes, she's knocking on wood.
Yeah.
I said I was going to do it.
What was I going to say? Oh, the one thing, I've never been the last in trials, so I'm not sure if this is true, but one thing I've heard is if you are the 12th person into the trial, like into grouped for the trial, you basically get the DC bug. I don't know if that's entirely true, but
that is strange.
Yes, and in our VMall group from the community, Delta 912, every time he joins, we just gotta be right back because he freezes before he can even finish it. And then he has to relog, and then he freezes teleporting in, and then he has to relog, and then he's able to play. So it's just like, rough. Yeah. So it's not all better, but hopefully you're on the end that is better, because I had to take a break last time, and now I'm back in it. So yeah, fingers crossed next patch gets everything all ironed out and not just most of it.
Well, I mean,
at least there's progress.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take it because now
patch,
I can play.
It was rough. Like,
I literally couldn't play before patch for more than like an hour. It was just, that was the most I got out of it. And now it's like I can, mainly I want to do the Markarth story. That's what I want. And now I can do that. So
I actually still haven't touched that. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't feel like doing story lately, and I guess now I will be just throwing myself at Cyrodiil. So Markarth will have to wait. Everything is all on hold now. I do Cyrodiil. I actually don't know if I'll ever be able to get it because Cyrodiil is definitely the least experienced I am in ESO. But I'm sure there's a build that I can make work. Something tanky.
So let me put it this way.
Oh no.
This will make you probably happier than anything I've ever said. The easiest way to get AP, in my experience, and it was what I did when I was pushing for EMP, heal. Be a healer.
Oh, I like this.
Nothing generates points like healing a Zerg. Because you matter to everybody.
Oh.
Should
and those
there be
kills,
Empress Pixie then?
You're tethered to everybody on those. Unless anything's changed, because I know they've been filtering around with like different approaches and stuff like that. Heals are your friend. Oh, never mind. It's been nuked. Heals are group only now. Never mind. Rip my strategy. That was how I used to get there.
There you go.
Let's just...
I guess I'll just have to nuke
gigantic
people.
Group.
Yep, you'll have to nuke. That was
well,
that
you
was
can
my
only
approach.
group up with like 6 people or something now.
What
was it? 12? Oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
because that's a trial group, so I'm assuming that would carry over. So
now
if I kill 12
is weird. 12? Okay, yeah. So chat also confirms it's 12. I
Yeah, it
heard
used
something
to
about
be-
if it's over 6, you get the AoE cooldown. That's why people are not grouping over 6 people, but you can group up to 12 people or something like that. Last time I was in Cyrodiil, it was very difficult to find a group, and I asked in zone chat, hey guys, what's going on? Why is there no group? And people were like, yeah, no one's grouping over 6 people because you got a debuff for
okay.
your AoEs if you group up over
see,
6 people.
I haven't been
So-
in Cyrodiil enough recently since all these changes have been hitting. My approach was, also when I got Emperor, it was like 3 years ago now, but it was, okay, Zerg Ball with as many people as I can get, and then Zerg Ball with your Zerg Balls, so that's just one giant sea of red, and I'm at the back of the line wearing all heavy, but with everything I have being a Magicka set, which is the weirdest thing. And all my things were Magicka regen. And I was just pelting the entire pile with as many heals as possible and shields and everything like that. And anytime people were dying or getting captures or getting kills, I just leached some of their AP. So I skyrocketed so fast up the wall. I was like, this is so great. And that's how you used to be able to claim Emp and not be good at things.
There you
No.
go. Well, now I have to actually get
would.
good.
Since I'm a healer, I would be issuing Ark the challenge of let's see who can make Emperor/Empress first, but I'm not going to do that because Cyberpunk comes out in 12 days. So
Yeah,
Well,
unless you both
actually,
want to.
even with Cyberpunk coming up, you probably would be Emperor faster than I am because all of our community is in NA. And we don't have that many active people in EU. So you probably have like a massive amount of people helping you with UESP, with Hyper Alliance,
And I know so many people in the UESP. They're all
AD. Yeah.
yellow.
Yeah. So
I already have
I'm at a
Maestro.
disadvantage here.
I know Maestro volunteered in chat.
Yeah, there you go.
So I
Yeah.
have Maestro. I know Avron fights for the Queen. Pylon.
My advantage is we also have less people on EU to grief me. So yeah, I guess that's a thing that I can be happy about that too. Because all of those people I feel like would be hunting for me in Cyrodiil, stream sniping left and right if I was on NA.
That would be all around. All I can picture, because I know Twitch is, super against, like, stream sniping is, like, against terms of service and blah, blah, blah. If you two actually were in a race against each other, it would get the entirety of the ESO fam banned if Twitch ever found out the amount of people stream sniping either for or against both of you.
I wonder if it's still against terms of service if the streamer is like okay with it.
If both streamers are totally okay with it.
Yeah.
I'd be cool with it. Because it's
Yeah,
like,
I get
especially if
stream
you dual
sniped every
stream.
now and then by someone in the community, and I find it funny.
Oh,
Like I
I just
enjoy
think it's
when it
hilarious.
happens. Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't know.
Well, I guess if you don't
it's-
report it, it would.
That's the thing. It's like, it happens to me sometimes, specifically pushing pixels. Every time we were farming sewers, out of nowhere, a Nightblade flies in from the side and stabbed me in the throat. It's like, oh, it's pixels again. So, yeah, it's totally
I know.
fine.
there was a point where Rykoth found me in Imperial City, and he would intentionally like leave my little group alone, but kill the other AD. And it made me so happy. We did come into contact and fought each other a couple of times, but it was just like a fun experience. I don't mind. Like, I know, Ark, you tracked me down through Twitch.
Oh, yeah,
and-
it took me
sorry.
15 minutes of running through Cyrodiil. And then I died in
And-
10 seconds. It's
Mr. Crowley did too, but I just surround myself with people who know what to do in Cyrodiil, and I just spam the Healy buttons. And
yeah, you just
they
spam
take care of 'em for me.
attacks at empty air and think you're helping.
I was blindfolded. Thank you very much. And also, that was on my pact tune. So, incompetent Pixie fights
Oh,
for
no.
the pact.
That's not good.
So she could actually do something good even blindfolded, but because it was packed, she was just pretending to not be effective.
If I would have been on my Necromancer, I might have like been able to res people blindfolded or something useful.
So yeah, journey to emperorship. Which brings us
Some
Stay
of us will
tuned.
get there.
to tails. And actually, because I have very little tails, and because when you mentioned Pixels and his Nightblade coming out of nowhere to stab you in the throat, that reminded me of... So I was doing Battlegrounds. So that's one thing I was doing. And, you know, I am running a very tanky build, and it generally just makes people kill themselves if they attack me too much. Thanks to multiple different sets, and I constantly like debuff people, things like that. There was this Nightblade though. The second he came out of shadows, someone in my group dies. And then he goes back into the shadows. Like, he goes back to stealth. I'm like, okay, someone just dropped. He comes back out of the shadow, someone else dies. And I generally can keep my squishies alive in Battlegrounds because my healing scales off of my max health. I drop like 7-8k healing bursts with my Arctic Wind. So if someone is in my close proximity, I can either drop the forest, the barrier, or like 7-8k healing spams. Like I just spam it. But the problem is, they die instantly. The second the guy comes out of the shadow, someone drops. And then he comes at me. I survive for like 2-3 seconds, and I'm dead. It's insane. Even through my blocking and my 45k health and my damage return and my almost maxed out resistance, I just melt immediately. The dude finished the game with like 70 something kills.
Good lord.
Wow.
He dropped people constantly and instantly. He would go into the stealth. The second he comes out, someone is 100% dead. I didn't see anyone actually, like, I managed to get away from him a few times. And I'm saying, like, I didn't survive him. I managed to get away from him.
Wow.
I had enough time to run away. Like, I don't know what he was doing.
Do you remember his tag? It wasn't Reborg, was it?
No, I don't. I
that's one of my-
I
so-
don't remember his tag, but
The only reason I say that is one of the people from my Unfettered group, he's a big Battlegrounds fan, and he plays a Gank Blade. And we've had some back and forth in Cyrodiil, and it's been fine. I've been able to pop him. But we ended up just arbitrarily in a battleground, and I didn't realize he was on the other team. And he sent me a screenshot because I was going up for the flag, and he dove in from behind me and hit me. And my character, again, also very durable, he brought me down to 1.2% health in one move. And I went, oh, fuck, and my game blue screened. I was like, this dude just killed me so hard my game crashed. And he sent me a picture, and he's like, sup, sucker? And I was like, oh, it was you? He's like, dude, you crashed my game, you killed me so hard. I was like, what the hell?
But yeah, it was insane. Like, my build normally messes up Gank Blades bad, because the second they start their rotation on me, they start taking more damage from me than I am taking damage from them. Their health goes down as fast as mine does, except I can heal myself insanely. So, but the problem with this one was I couldn't react. Like, the second he
it's so
started
quick.
attacking me, I was almost nearly dead, let alone like do anything, react, and start my rotation on him. It was insane. I run with 45k health on full block and full armor. How am I taking that much damage? What do you
Infinity
do?
penetration.
It was bad. Like, my god. So yeah, that's the highlight of my tales. It was bad. I mean, the rest I did was just pledges and a bunch of Castle Torn for more of those crimson pieces.
I was going to say, you
I
still
got
searching
tricked.
for Crimson?
I thought we would get full refund of our transmute crystals on reconstructed items. Apparently, we only get like the base cost of 25. So I reconstructed items for 50 something transmute crystals and only got 25. I just want to craft another piece. And
so yeah, it's only full refund if you're complete on the sticker book set of all, what is it, 14 pieces?
Something like that, yeah. And it just doesn't drop. Yeah, Ishii joined, Baron Dalton was there, SD was there, so we had like a nice group going, but...
Castlethorn Train.
Yeah, I don't even remember if it dropped now. I think it did. Because I did go back into Battlegrounds. That means it must have did. Oh, right, yes. I keep remembering what I did. My memory is, it's catching up. So
crushing it.
To test on this build, I also farmed my antiquities, to be able to do the mythic item ones. I got the Ring of the Pale Order one in about 3 hours, which was nice. And apparently it is absolutely useless for me because all of my damage comes from my sets. I was misled to thinking that it would also proc from my sets damage as well. That is not the case. And since the damage I deal normally without my sets is like 1-2k, the heal back from it is absolutely useless. And it's not worth dropping a monster set. So... yeah, I have a Ring of the Pale Order now, and absolutely no use for it, because none of my builds deal damage. Oh, yeah.
Wait.
Ouch.
So, how do you... That's unfortunate, because I actually love that thing. That thing is... It
is great, except I don't deal damage. Like, the way I deal damage is by blocking.
But it's by reversing the damage back, and it's not proccing on your reflected damage because you're not outputting the... I see what you're saying. Wow, yeah, that is an unfortunate scenario to be in.
Yeah. If it had worked, though, it was going to be... oof. I was probably going to be quite unkillable in Battlegrounds.
I can already see why that would be, because, like, if you're healing, like, say you have Battalion Defender and something that deflects damage as well, it's like, okay, so I'm healing by blocking and deflecting damage by blocking, so you're taking damage, but then that damage that went at you is also healing me, so you're literally just a heal station by standing still.
Yeah, as long as you have stamina, you would be able to just... Right. Which is why, actually, this build does not work in no champion point Cyrodiil.
Yeah, because you can't get the
like 50
block reduction
people,
cost. And
50 people hit you once, and your stamina is gone, and you only dealt like 500 damage to 50 different people, and it's absolutely... it's like, yep, that's pointless.
Right.
So, yeah. That's my tales this time. Yeah. I'm sure this time. And...
you did.
I mean, you two had joint tales, but Lotus, you also played some Arena, which I always love hearing about. So why don't you go ahead?
All right, well then I'll start with Arena and then mention how I got to join with Pixie on PC. But earlier today, actually, I did a follow-up stream of Arena, and... I was, when we last left off, I had made it to level 2 of the Crypt of Hearts after 3 hours. And I figured, perfect, now I can beat the Crypt of Hearts before I have my trial tonight. I was incorrect. So, 3 more hours later, spoiler, I'm still in the fucking Crypt of Hearts.
This is exactly why I lifted the family-friendly part of this show.
6 hours! Who is in the Crypt of Hearts for 6 hours? It doesn't make any sense. So, I roam around in the Crypt of Hearts, and there's crap falling out of the walls. Literally, the descriptions of one of the walls. So, there's a few things for anybody who didn't catch the live or recorded video versions of this. So... as I'm roaming around, it gives you these little written descriptors, because the game is very pixelated. Think Doom, except in medieval times. And you walk over these points, and it will give you dialogue, like not spoken, but like it will type a description of what's happening. And one of them was you smell a strong scent of sulfur and a blast of hot air from down the hallway. I was like, so the hall just farted at me, which is ridiculous. Like, what kind of description is this? So I'm roaming around down here in the fart halls, and every 5 inches there's another enemy that spawns and it attacks me, and I try to heal, because the overarching theme to this game is I keep trying to heal, and every time I try to heal, it does the thing where, like, you've been awoken from your sleep, there are enemies nearby. Well, I never get anywhere because I'm constantly trying to sleep in order to get my health back, but every time I sleep, I'm attacked by monsters that knock my health right back down, and it's a vicious cycle. But I managed to get through floor 2 after a while, and I'm like, okay, here we go, floor 3. And I'm working on floor 3, and on floor 3, it says something about the walls are like mucusy and stuff. I'm like, what is the descriptions of this place? Like, I know mucusy was one of the descriptors, but there were more. I don't know what is wrong with this place.
The walls are made of poop.
Yeah, seriously. It's awful. So I'm roaming around the Crypt of Hearts, continuing on my path, and actually that is, yes, the Crypt of Farts is a giant colon, which several people did point out the fact that I did just switch the name to Crypt of Farts on stream because of the constant in-game fart jokes. But we had continued on for a while, just chiseling through enemies. The enemies are pretty advanced in here. The vampires, I learned, are miserable. I believe it was you, Pixie, who said he looks happy because he's just got the 2 little vampire snaggletooth things.
Yes.
And he's smiling and then beats the hell out of me. But so I had to fight one of those. You're constantly fighting. Well, there aren't Atronachs in this game. They're golems, and there's rock golems and iron golems, and it's ridiculous. So the barrage continues, and I think I find the exit to this stupid place. And instead of the exit, I find that it's got a 4th floor, which is really getting excessive that this place is quite this big. This is, as far as I know, the first 4-floor dungeon that I've run into. And I assumed that I would have beaten it at this point, but I'm roaming around on the 4th floor, and it's some pretty long straightaways. And as I continue, I reach a dead end, and then I find a direction with lava, and it's a jumping lava puzzle, which I believe I made some snarky comment to you, Ark, and then immediately boiled myself alive in lava.
Yep.
Which
See,
was
even the divines know my true intentions, and they punished you for making those comments, man.
Yep, so that was pretty much insta-karma. So I deserved that. But I decided that the only way to get through this, because I couldn't believe I was still in here, and it was starting to get close to trial time. So I found where I needed to go to the middle of the map, and what I wanted to do was just go to the center of the map, because I figured that had to be where this stupid thing was. So what I did was I used the spell of wall glitch, because I can't think of the pass wall, that's what it is, which I've got on that crappy sword, and I just dug a path straight through the dungeon, just deleting walls in a straight line to the middle of the map. And the descriptor, when you get into that room, because it's got floor dialogue, is you see a crypt filled with, like, and the air is filled with screams or something like that. I was like, I see I'm in a place called the Crypt of Hearts. Of course I see a crypt. Like, what else would I see?
Cryptception.
So, yes, that was the cryptception. So, I don't know. I figured that meant this had to be, like, the place to go. And it's this really big room with a lot of holes in the floor. And I don't know what's in the middle. It could be the Staff of Chaos. I figured 25 minutes is enough time to figure out what's in the middle, and I was wrong. Because every single direction is filled with an incredible amount of these, like, stone golem things, which if you get... They're a pretty high-level enemy. They kind of look like mummies. If you're close to them, they smack you into a decent amount of damage. Whatever. If you're far away, they throw energy orbs at you because of fucking course they do. And that does way, way more damage because my character is unfortunately a moron and I have no ability to resist magic or use it. So I have to run at everything in order to minimize the abuse that I take. And when they're on polar opposite ends of the room in basically all cardinal directions and diagonals, for everyone I run at, I'm just getting peppered from all sides by the death orbs. And I just died on repeat for 25 minutes, essentially.
And the fireballs. I saw the fireballs.
Oh, yeah, and fireballs, because there were ghosts that have machine gun fireballs, because, again, magic is not my friend. I tried simply climbing up a ledge, and I got hit by so many fireballs in the time it took me to literally climb up a 4-foot hill that it brought my health from 100% to dead instantly. So I think that maybe the staff piece is in that room, but it's obviously going to take me a long time to chisel my way through that. So I tragically ended a second stream, now still in the Crypt of Hearts, and I'm pretty sure this now has claimed the title of longest dungeon, as I am now on 6 hours just trying to do the Crypt of Hearts. This is getting pretty rough because I still have 2 more pieces of this staff after I get this one. So it's not even like, oh, I'm at the end. I'm not at the end. I'm not even that close to the end. Like this, there's still another quarter of the game, at least, provided the Staff of Chaos is at the end of this thing. So, yeah, I will... I don't know. I'm definitely planning on doing another stream and attempt to getting out of the Crypt of Hearts very soon. I can't imagine it's going to take me another 3 hours because I don't know how many more floors this place could possibly have. But the problem on top of all of this is you don't get to just leave when you're done. I have to walk back out of this place.
No.
Oh, no.
There's no fast travel in this game, like if you're not from a main city. So you have to backtrack. And one thing that I always begrudgingly like to remind people of this game, if I've had a couple of people try this game and quickly end playing this game. If you leave a floor of a dungeon, be it to go the correct way or you backed out, it resets the dungeon floor that you just left to stock.
Nice.
So all of the enemies back up through there have now been set to stock replacement. So they're all back. And the cheese walls that I dig out to get around, they're all replaced.
Oh, no.
So you can't just dig a hole and be like, all right, I'm just going to run down and I'm going to just run back. That's not how it works. You dig your way back out the same way you dug your way back down, except this time I don't have a shield because my dwarven shield broke. I had a sweet-ass Dwemer shield. That broke in combat, and as Ishi pointed out, my new tower shield, it looks like I'm carrying a barn door around with me. That's just what it looks like. And it doesn't even do that good of protection. It's just ugly, and it's terrible.
You need the horned dragon shield in there, too.
You know, there was many shield shouts when that happened. So it's Arena is quite the struggle bus. Again, my brief stint of being proud of myself for how quickly I beat the Crystal Tower has been swiftly ended every time I've played since then, because good lord, this is just brutal.
Yeah, you clearly jinxed that one.
Yeah, no, I should never have said anything good about Arena at all. That was my mistake. I kind of mentioned the fact that a lot of the things were fixed for me personally.
Before moving to ESO part of your tales, I just want to mention this will come off as very bad as part of me being close to being worst. But I hope you don't leave Crypto Farts for 3 more streams so we get to hear more of this.
This is amazing.
Honestly, I could listen to this for hours. Just you suffering through Elder Scrolls Arena. It is my favorite right now.
I really hope you play Daggerfall next and you suffer just as much.
So I will be doing, when I manage to finally complete this, whatever year that may be, 2025. I wonder if Elder Scrolls 6 will be out at that point. But when I can finally beat this, I think I'll be actually I'll do a Twitter vote on what game I play next, whether it should be Battlespire, whether it should be Daggerfall, one of the 2 Travels games that I have the JavaScript files for. I have absolutely no idea what I'm in for with those pieces of junk. And then shout out to TES Benefactor from the Imperial Library. He sent me a link. They have successfully, because, I'm not the only crazy person, they have successfully made an emulator for the N-Gage, and you can play Shadowkey on a computer now.
Oh my god.
So
we finally get to see it.
I can theoretically stream Shadowkey. So I will replay Shadowkey if that's something people want to see at some point as well. So we'll see once I finally get through this thing.
Honestly, it makes me super happy that all of these options are equally disastrous, and
crap.
you will play either one of them. This is just
they're
fantastic.
The only way I win is if people are like, no, that's enough. You don't deserve this. And that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
So,
that's not going to happen. I mean,
that's not how we do
even if there are even if everyone thought it was, enough, there will still be one vote that will determine your fate.
Mm-hmm.
I know Ark and I will be voting on something.
Yeah, so that's
there
just
you go.
it.
2
Even
votes
if the community is nice to
your
me.
fate.
Exactly. Well, and that's just it. There's no escape, and I've kind of accepted that situation. I said I'd go through them, and it's biting me in the ass immediately. But it for anybody who watched, this is gonna really date myself, but the old Simpsons episode, there's an episode where there's the Hamburglar, and he gets mauled, and there's the children are crying, and it just says, stop it, he's already dead. That's pretty much just me after every one of these streams. So, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, so ESO, not as interesting as I have played some, but it was, I had mentioned the bug fixes. My VCR prog is requiring a lot of readjustment, so we'll see how that goes as things iron back out. It was a holiday, so it's kind of hard to get stuff going, especially off a long-standing break where we had with the patch. But I will give a brief thing, which will lead us right into Pixie's tales, of I ran my first trials tonight on PC when I was, after I finished streaming, I jumped into your stream, Pixie, and you were like, hey, you want to take Sunspire? And I was like, sure. So I got to join you guys for Sunspire. I got 3 pieces of Yolocrin, 3 or 4 pieces of Yolocrin, which is actually pretty sweet. So I have a decent chunk of that set, which I'm a big fan of. Sunspire went well. I'll let you give the more elaborate details on that. And then we ran. Yeah, well, look, we won, didn't we?
Eventually, we got there.
And then, what was it? The other one we did, which was a learning experience, because this is where I've been spending my life, is Cloud Rest. We did a quick Cloud Rest. We tried Cloud Rest +3, which could have gone better. So then we decided, yes, so since that could have gone better, let's do Cloud Rest +2. And I learned that if you have correct gear, but you don't distribute any of your champion points because you're lazy, running around in Cloud Rest is very challenging. I'm so used to having myself spec'd out for VCR 3, where that's definitely one. I don't min-max with my champ points too much. It's much more important for DPS and stuff like that. I understand that. But most of the time, you can tank with semi-middle-of-the-road stuff. Like, okay, this is fine. Like, without too many exceptions of just my CP's set. This is what it is. It's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. Cloud Rest, you take a lot of magicka damage, and you need to run everywhere. Time is a factor, both upstairs and downstairs. So you are sprinting a lot. So you definitely want to have a lot into Sprinter. And not having any of my champion points spent, or even having them spent but only having 160 of them instead of my usual 810, that is rough. You burn out your stamina quite a bit, and then you've got to try to block everything and stack up your shields and everything like that. And the reason that I noticed the Argonian potion buff was in there, because I would sprint across, I'd have like 1%, 2% stamina left from sprinting around like a lunatic and blocking. One potion and I'm at 80% stamina again. I was like, good Lord. And these are just the trash tripods they give you from login rewards. And I was like, wow, this is pretty intense, the buff you get out of that. So that was an interesting experience. We definitely did beat that on +2 at least. And yeah, I got my clear out of that as well. So that was pretty fun. But yeah, from your perspective, Pixie, how did you like tanking those trials? Because I enjoyed tanking them from my side.
So I enjoyed tanking them. I think the rest of the group didn't really enjoy my tanking of Locestis, for sure. I kind
who?
of just Loki. Locestis.
Yeah, Locestis, icy guy.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't done
the
Sunspire, so I don't know who
boot-nosed
they are.
Okay, so it's the ice dragon.
The cute one.
Right.
The one that
Yeah.
you said Pixie's raid notifier says cast Warhorn, so I cast trees instead. That one. So basically, I just forgot block was a button that I should sometimes press. Just died. By the second dragon, I remembered, so I was actually paying attention to codes. It's like, okay, block, 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 now roll, now go back to blocking, and I was fine. But yeah, I died pretty quickly. Also didn't tell Lotus that I died, and the dragon immediately turned and destroyed everyone twice.
I was way too far back grabbing the ice Atros and was not paying attention. All of a sudden I saw all of the bars go black except me and one person. I was like, oh no.
It also didn't help that Lotus also didn't have a range taunt for that entire trial.
All right, side effect. I was able to buy Inner Fire after the completion of Sunspire.
There you go.
That was the skill point I needed.
Yeah, that being said, like, the rest of it went fine. It was just that one dragon that was just tragic over and over and over again. Lotus might have saved my ass somewhere else in there, but
Details, you did fine.
thanks. It was bad. So I was distracted the whole time because I was honestly like, it's normal Sunspire. I've main tanked this before. Well, what could go wrong? And then proceeded to just talk to chat the whole time while occasionally poking the dragon, which is apparently a mistake, because I don't have enough resistances, or just maybe should press the block button occasionally. Also, so I'm going in like reverse orders. That's what I just did. So NCR +3 was tragic. That one, we ended up, so I was in Portal, so I don't know what happened, but I saw somebody talking about Voltaic Overload, like taking them out a few times. After a couple wipes of that, we took out the guy who casts the blue nonsense that makes you not bar swap. Was that Gallenway?
I don't know any of the. I just know him as Electric.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude.
Their
we took
names
him
I don't
out.
know.
Yeah.
And from there +2 was fine. I have off-tanked that one before, so it wasn't bad. Now, what was interesting, so I was tragic tanking tonight, but last night, actually, I got with Kiz, Pylon, and Avron, all from UESP, and I was somehow talked into tanking Vet Frostvault, which last time I tanked Vet Frostvault went horribly, and we got stuck at the Laser Boss and never got past Laser Boss. But last night, I successfully cleared that on my tank, and I'm just so happy. Now, Avalanche was tragic. I still haven't quite figured out what on earth I'm supposed to be doing other than this stupid little dance around these pie slices. And
all right, pause for a quick second.
Yes.
Ark, how do you do Avalanche fight?
So apparently, after getting told to get good by Mike Finnegan himself on Twitter,
which was my favorite part,
I've learned that what you're supposed to do is, you know how the AoE shows up and you reflexively go out of it, the AoE, because you don't stand in stupid, you die. So apparently you know that there's a pie slice in that AoE.
Yeah.
You gotta stay inside that. You don't go outside of the AoE. You gotta stay in the AoE, which is against everything you learn up until that point. And so while I was blind running Wet Frostvault with pugs, and this kept happening, I took a clip of it. I tagged Mike Finnegan on Twitter, and I was like, is this a bug? Or am I missing something? And he just told me to get good. So yeah, I learned it in a pretty hard way.
Well, I forget if it was one of you two or if it was Lego who told me, like, no, you have to stand in that. You just have to, like, stand in the right part of it.
Yeah.
I'm just really bad at moving fast enough to get to the empty pie slice. So I just kept getting killed by it. So the whole time was just them rezzing me and me immediately going back down until they could burn it. And that's how I tanked that one. I was completely useless the entire time. I died 6 times on that one boss, and it was like 2 pulls. And the first pull was because they were like outside of the arena, and instead of pulling them in, it just killed them, which was lovely. I didn't know that was a thing because, I mean, Lotus learned tonight that I don't wait for everybody to be ready. I just charge on in whenever I feel like it. Same thing as a healer. I just blast bones whenever the tank's taking too long. So the laser boss, I know you guys were both watching for that, it messes with my OCD because I was told keep it exactly in the middle. And so it was a whole lot of, hold on, I need to move it a little bit more, turning the boss around and hitting my friends, and then turning him back around whenever I feel like he's sufficiently in the middle and not 2 steps off of center. And so that caused a couple issues. And then also whenever I was like, screw it, he's close enough to the middle, then he actually wasn't close enough to the middle, and I just made lasers a lot harder than they needed to be. But eventually we got through that. Last boss, Kiz trolled me. He's like, okay, listen, the most important thing is you stand right here from the very beginning. Just stand here, don't move. And of course I just listened, and the boss spawns in and smashes me immediately and kills me. And that was clipped because that's the second time that has happened to me. The first time I was just happened to be standing there. I wasn't told anything. But this time I should have remembered but did not and just trusted Kiz because he had a serious voice on. He just fooled me.
I loved it. I loved it so much. When it was happening, I was just like, oh my god, she's standing there. She's walking to the position. I was like, yes.
I follow directions. I follow directions. I don't know why. Like, so Ark tanks like this too. He's admitted to it. He just does whatever his healer tells him to. So I was just like, yeah, I'll just follow directions. It can't hurt me. I'll just do what they tell me to. I clearly don't know what I'm doing.
See, no, there's a slight problem there. My healer is not Kiz. My healers know what they're doing and are not trolls, but you listen to Kiz.
So
never
Kiz
listen to Kiz.
So my healer was Avron, and Pylon was there. None
wait,
of them
I thought
told
Kiz
me.
was healing. Okay, you can listen to
He was-
Avron. You don't have...
So
okay.
Kiz was healing tonight, but last night he was
okay.
DPSing and giving me directions.
Okay, still
and
don't
Kiz
listen
is
to
like,
Kiz.
Nobody said, Pixie, don't listen to him. He's going to get you killed. They all waited silently and watched me die and laughed at me. So they were just all out to get me, apparently. But, like, the last boss is significantly easier than the laser boss, so the whole thing went fine. But it was really fun. So I forget what I was watching that made me decide, like, I'm tanking this week, and that's all I'm doing. But yeah, I'm now tanking again. That was fun. I really enjoyed it. I also got several pieces of Yulnikren, so I think I have enough for a 5-piece if I do the body pieces. I still need the weapons and the amulet, I think, is the other stuff I'm missing. I also learned this week, because of the Black Fredas sale, that I still have no self-control over crown crates. But for one time, it actually paid off. So if you buy 15 crown crates, instead of being 5,000 crowns, it's 3,500 crowns, which I just so happen to have, which I rarely save crowns because I just immediately, anytime my ESO Plus renews, I buy crown crates.
Oh no.
But this time I was like, I'm saving for when the Markarth house comes on sale. And I saw, oh, crown crates are on sale. There goes that idea. I'm getting crown crates. Well, the last time I got crown crates, I did get an Apex mount, but it was the Guar. And Guars are just not what I want to ride into battle on. Again, they're just too cute, and cute isn't exactly what I'm going for.
No.
What I really wanted...
Hold up. You used to call them weird.
They are, but they're like
not cute,
derpy cute,
but weird. Oh,
but I don't want to ride into battle on a cute thing.
Tricked.
You've not been tricked.
I've been tricked.
I'm still very much like, I'm not gonna like use this as a battle mount. That's just why would I do that? They're not scary. I want to ride in on something that can eat your face, not something that
the Guars can eat your face. Have you seen their mouths? They have the mouth of a combination of a T-Rex and a crocodile and some other weird creatures.
Okay, I've seen alligators and crocodiles like in person. They have much longer snouts. And the rounded lack of snout is why they are not fearsome at all. I'm pretty sure they would just try to hug you with their tiny little arms and not actually get anywhere. And they couldn't hurt you. And that's my issue with them.
You are under an illusion.
I want to ride into battle on something that can just absolutely rip your face off. Which is why I was very pleased with the not 1, but 2 Apex mounts that I got from this 15-pack of crown crates.
Okay, that is some luck.
Yeah, that is some intense RNG.
Is that where Kiz's RNG going?
I think so.
You're just siphoning it off of Kiz.
So I opened the first crown crate and there wasn't really anything in there. I opened the second one and I got the wolf. And I was like, hell yeah, nice. This is one of the 2 that I wanted. And so as soon as I got the wolf, I was like, yes, this is exactly what I want. I wanted the wolf or the saber cats. Now I have the wolf, so I'm happy. So the rest of this, I don't care if I get nothing but potions, it's fine. Next one I open, I get the saber cat.
Wow. Back to...
So I got the 2 I wanted. It was amazing.
Wow.
The chances of that happening is... very, 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 very,
comically low.
Very low.
It was either like 2 in a row or there might have been like 1 in between, but it was like in the first 5 crown crates, I got both of them. It was insane how quickly I got them. And it was the 2 that I cared about too, which was the craziest part. Because I thought I was going to get stuck with only the Guar. Like, no, I really wanted one of the other 2. And so now I'm riding around on my awesome Sovngarde cinch, my Sovngarde saber cat rather, and I love it. And it has a little stumpy tail, but can also eat your face. So it combines the cuteness and the I'm going to hurt you, and it's just great. I love it, and it makes the cool Skyrim noise whenever I spawn it in. And I'm
that
just
is
very
really
happy.
So, as everyone knows, I'm not like the biggest cosmetic person. The fact that it does the Skyrim sound effect when they spawn, that is such just like a cool touch. I
Yes.
love that effect. It's just so neat when they first spawn in. Like, that's great.
They are just way too glowy for my taste.
Oh,
It's-
they're not my style either.
Yeah.
It's too mystical, too high fantasy. But it's just like anytime I hear,
Oh, yeah.
because you ever go into Cyrodiil, the amount of crazy mounts everybody has, everybody's got like everything doped out of their mind. And it's just so funny. You're just like, hard. It's like, oh crap, people are leveling up all around me. Like, what's happening?
I love it. And I actually do like the glowy, and it's going to look great on my high elf specifically because she goes with an all gold color scheme, like white and gold, so it's going to match her perfectly. So I just have to decide if she gets the saber cat or the wolf. I'm leaning more wolf for her, but my Altmer is going to look fantastic on this.
I wonder what that poor wolf have done to deserve such a
I was gonna
fate,
say.
being a Sovngarde wolf and having an Altmer as the rider. That must
They make it to Sovereign Guard only to be thrust back to Nirn to be ridden by a Dominion.
I wonder
Altmer.
if it's like did that wolf, I don't know, pissed on Shore's leg or something?
Yeah,
Just
it's
came
like,
up to it like, yep,
Well, maybe instead of them playing,
gonna mark
fetch with
my territory on Shore's
Yeah.
leg.
Well, instead of like playing fetch with a bone, they just took Wuthrod, just started throwing it and playing catch with that, and then they broke it.
Whoops.
Shore's bones and shit.
I mean, so to be fair, before I got the wolf and the saber cat both in one night, I actually had her riding the Sovngarde Guar because it matched and it made the
Okay,
cool sound.
it's well, if a Guar tries to
No.
enter Sovngarde, it deserves the fate of being thrown back to be like having an Altmer to ride it. So that part makes sense. I don't understand what
see.
happened to the wolf though.
See, I really enjoy the bipedal mounts. For whatever reason, I feel like it makes them look like they're running faster, but I only like the Kaguti. So, it'd be cool to get a
Kaguti is
bipedal
fine
mount.
because it's not trying to trick anyone into thinking it's cute and is harmless. Like Kaguti is what it is. It's straight on monster.
Badass. Yes, I love it. That's
Yet
what I want in a
the
mount.
problem with Guar is cunning. Even though it's a horrendous creature, it is somehow making everyone think it's a cute creature, which is either the result of some cunning marketing trick or they are magicians. I don't know. It's either or.
Or they're just derpy T-Rexes that can't actually hurt things.
No,
And that's
not if
why
you
I
look
don't want it.
closely. Not if you look
If
closely.
I have anything to do with this, a
No, you
Guar will
don't.
sit on the throne of Cyrodiil before you do, Ark.
I mean, if it keeps him stuck on Team Iren, I'm okay with this. But yeah, so that was basically my tales. I lucked my way through Frostvault and NCR +2 and an SS on a tank, and then I got 2 Apex mounts.
There you go. You definitely need Silver Leash from Fighters Guild, by the way.
Yep,
Or
that's
Chains.
great.
That
I have
warden,
it.
that warden portal skill is not as good as the Silver Leash or Extended Chains.
So I
Because
was
as-
using
Yeah.
Silver Leash, but then like Zyno told me he liked Frozen Device, so I was like,
Oh.
okay, I'll try Frozen Device again. And then I just didn't switch back. But I did notice an issue in a trial because it's like people are waiting on me to pull things to me, but I have to wait for that cooldown, and so that was obnoxious. But I do like that I can put 3 of them down and they'll all come at the same time. So whenever I was running dungeons earlier, it wasn't an issue. And it was nice, but whenever I'm working with another tank, it's like, okay, he's using chains, and he clearly has an advantage over me here, so I should probably be using Silver Leash. But then I just didn't bother changing the skill. 'Cause
Yeah,
Lotus
I just
obviously had
prefer
it
the
under control.
instant reaction
Did
of...
have chains, luckily. Did not have inner fire, did have chain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
definitely
yeah, I
favor
can try it again.
the Silver Leash because it's instant, whereas the gates are on a cooldown, and it's... You also can't pick the one thing that goes into the frozen device either.
Right.
But with chains, you can actually pick your target, so... Device,
Right.
like, if there are 2 creatures on it, it will teleport one of them. So...
Right,
I
yeah.
just prefer chains instead. And
I'll try
I don't know
running
if
chains
you're
again.
yeah, and I would say for the I don't know if you are if that's what I saw, but I think you have the Arctic Blast version of the your heal, which stuns enemies. You could swap that with Polar Wind because that's gonna be because your max health is as a tank is quite high. That's gonna heal one of your allies for like if they're close to you 5 to 7-8k. So that's yeah. The other morph, the Polar Wind morph, is a solid both self and ally heal.
So I was thinking about changing my points around too because I do have like an obscene amount of health compared to what I've heard other people
How much do you have?
44k, I think. 46k, somewhere in there.
Honestly, I mean, I like running with high health.
Yeah, you're just a high health tank. I mean,
Okay.
it's not bad to do that. And the thing that I always try to let people know, and Ark, you can speak to this too, because I think you run a higher health tank than I do too.
I love high health tanking.
So one, it depends largely on what you're doing. Because anybody saying, like, even, like, people who do trick dungeons just for the sake of it, like, somebody who I say is probably, like, one of the best walking tanks in-game, J-Dub, who's, like, a total beast, they're not going to tell you to go and it's like, 35, that'll probably be fine for, like, that Black Rose prison, whatever. It's like, no, you need a lot of health for stuff like that. So you adjust accordingly. But the other thing is your group composition, which is something that is tough to explain. Group composition and how you work together matters more than individual builds. So in many cases, like if your team is used to you having a lot of health, but you're incredibly self-reliant, the healer might not need to pay attention to you as much. They can focus on something else. One of the things we used to do on stream, and some people actually asked me after streams, like, what do you have Tremor Scale on? And I'm like, yes. Tremor Scale is an awesome taking set, but only with Stam players. It's worthless garbage if you don't have Stam DPS, because it just gives a physical penetration bonus. So that's great because it's almost like an extra half an Alkosh set before they started screwing with Alkosh. But you get like an extra chunk of damage. When I beat one of the times I beat Castlethorn hard mode, we did it with a Stam DK DPS, a Necro DK,
A Necromancer Dragon Knight. Hell
a
yeah.
Necromancer Dragon Knight, you best in slot. Necromancer, Stam Necromancer, and then our healer. And it was funny because there's no trying to coordinate positioning. When I puncture, which is what you're doing as a tank, you're triggering Tremor Scale, which is debuffing. And since Lady Thorn has a zillion friggin' hit points, and that fight takes forever, us rotating in a circle and me just jabbing her on the side and constantly debuffing and then popping any synergies with Alkosh to also debuff, and then having a shield for my other thing. It's like, that's debuff, and I'm hitting people with a shield. That worked for that scenario. But we're not going to do that in something like, Imperial City Prison or whatever. So you're not necessarily doing anything wrong. It's sometimes just what benefits the group the most. And DPSs kind of need to just do as much and as fast as you can. As support players, we kind of need to adjust on the fly to work with them more than other stuff. And the meta for tanks I always find a little weird because it's like, well, the perfect example, so many people, yes, Warhorn is awesome because it gives a huge damage buff. But if you use a Warhorn and you face plant and you're dead, now you're going to restart the trial because the thing's probably going to break free and kill everybody. If instead of giving people that damage buff, you're using a Magma Shell or a Shield Discipline to get yourself out of a bad situation, okay, yes, you're doing whatever it is, 7% overall less damage in the grand scheme of things. But at the same time, you didn't just restart the trial because you didn't lose taunt because you're not dead. So it's all about being as helpful as you can, but at the same time also doing your job. So I think you are fine with your build personally. And it's just as you get more comfortable, and which is the thing, I'm comfortable with a lot of health or not as much usually. Big usually, because some things I'm like, need health. But usually I don't mind not having a lot of health. Originally, I absolutely did. I hated it. It used to freak me out. Now I'm just used to how much each of the things hits me for, and it's like, okay, this will bring me down to 7% health or 17% health, but I'll do this, this, and this, and it'll keep me back alive. Until you're comfortable with the timing on that's not something you need to be fretting about, because you'll lose track of holding taunt and stuff like that. Once that becomes second nature, then you can work on not being so concerned about self-preservation.
So I think what would help me more than like adjusting health or anything like that is just remembering to hold block. I feel is pretty
that
key.
is pretty crucial as a tank.
Yeah.
I got hit by frost breath with no block up and then wondered why I died twice. And then I remembered.
I mean, the thing
I
is,
should probably block.
Yeah, the thing is, right now you're in a different class, in a different build, with different skills. So when your muscle memory sets in for those skills, because I assume right now you are sort of tanking while looking at your skill bar rather than the actual boss. So once that muscle memory sets in, you'll be much more relaxed and on time with the blocks, keeping up with the taunts. It happens to me, like, whenever I switch characters for example, Battlegrounds, if I switch to my Necromancer, I don't know which skill is where, what does what. So I'm looking at my skill bar, and that throws me off. So once you get the, like, skills that you want to use in your build, because it differs from person to person, depending on the style. Once that muscle memory sets in, you will be a lot more comfortable as well. Then, like, I would suggest if you want to go down on a lower health, I do it then. Like, once you know where your skills are by heart,
right,
then you can go for a lower health. But at the moment, until that muscle memory sets in, I would favor a larger health pool to allow for more mistakes, basically.
Yep.
Yeah, because that actually hurt me both in Frostvault and tonight in the trials. Was I would miss things that I needed to be watching out for because I was staring down at the bottom of my screen, like, okay, which button should I be clicking now? Because I don't know where any of my skills are. I keep trying to combat prayer you guys, and I'm doing something that's useless right now. And because I was just in healer mode half the time too. So trying to remember which buttons I was supposed to be pushing and what's actually useful, and remember to keep buffs up and all of that stuff. So
and you change role as well. Like, because all my characters are tanks, every skill corresponds to the same effect. I have my taunt, my slash, my crowd control, my heal, my damage heal. Everything is on the same place between different classes because they are all tanks and they all do the same thing. But when you switch roles, that obviously goes away as well. So
yeah, like last week I think I was healing and DPSing, switching between those two tunes, and then this week I'm like, oh, I'm tanking now, and just decided to jump head first into that. I was like, oh no, I don't know what any of these do anymore. And of course Kiz is like, I signed up for Frostvault. No, I'm not running Pludges. We're doing Frostvault. Okay, here we go. Time to spend 2 hours with lasers.
Well, it's funny because exactly like me, I'll goof around with the other classes. I have them available for, provided not crazy off the rails content. But yeah, that's my thing, is like, if I DPS and I'm generally just like, that's my least favorite role. Like, I'd rather heal second and DPS last, like in the trinity of things. And one thing I always notice is my DPS definitely takes a hit because I'm so used to assuming that I'm soaking all these heavy attacks when that's absolutely not what I'm doing whatsoever. So I waste so many resources self-healing. I'm like, oh God, I took, this much damage. It's like, wait, that was only like 4K. Like what the, I wouldn't have even noticed that on my tank. So I squander crap. Like I'll break a rotation where I'm like, oop, I shouldn't have healed. Actually, that was a huge waste. Like this skill would have just healed me back up. So.
But yeah, that was my tales for this week, and I really do enjoy tanking. It does feel more natural than me trying to DPS things, just because it's support. So I don't know. I feel like I enjoy tanking more than DPSing, and I enjoy healing more than anything else. But I'm trying to get better at all three roles, just so that way, if there's ever a situation where, hey, these people need a DPS and they want to do this thing that I want to run, I can jump in there. Or if I'm trying to put together a group or something and I have somebody who's wanting to try out healing, then I can DPS or tank for them while giving them tips if they want it, or just letting them get some practice in. So that's my main driving force behind wanting to do all these other things, but I do really enjoy tanking. Yeah, exactly. And it's cool to tank too, because I'm used to healing the tank a lot, and I have you guys and Lego also to give me tips the entire time. So that gives me a little bit of an advantage, even if it's just making fun of me for casting trees instead of Warhorn. But
that was so fun though. Like you had a massive. So I myself, like I have all those add-ons for trials because it was required. But I rarely see them. Like they're on my screen, but I don't see them most of the time. And I saw like your screen had a massive Warhorn now, and then you just went pretty trees, and then
I was either about to die or I thought I was on the Warhorn bar, to be honest with you, because there were several times last night in Frostvault where I was trying to Warhorn but casted trees on accident. So I had no idea which bar trees was on, because I was trying to not stare at my bar because it kept killing me, because I'd miss blocking heavies and just get annihilated. So I was like, okay, this should be Warhorn. Nope, you guys get a forest again. This is just lovely. But it is helpful to have the trees there. It keeps my healer a little bit happier, because they're not having to spam heals on me the entire time.
Yeah. The fact that it costs 90 ultimate and you get 20 back if you cast it on a low health target is insane. Like I spam it a lot in Battlegrounds. I just constantly drop trees on myself, on allies, and it's, I guess, annoying for everybody else, but definitely worth
I like
to say.
Pretty Forest. If anybody who was on a Warden tank wants to drop trees just whenever they feel like it, I'm happy. Even as a healer, it makes my job nice.
Yeah,
and I just get to take a nap.
That's valid.
All right. Well, I guess that brings us to the end of the show.
Yeah.
So, Lotus, any final thoughts, and where can people find you?
Final thoughts, kind of just fingers crossed that things keep improving again, because I know not everybody's had the same more positive experience with the changes, but yeah, I'm pretty excited to get back into ESO a little more again. Hopefully my trials can kick back up, because I'm getting pretty tired of running that Cloud Rest and not having my +3 clear. So this has been going on for like 2 months or something, or a month and a half, I guess. But yeah, if you want to get a hold of me, I am LotusOfDoom on Twitter and Discord, and it's kind of weird because this is I kind of one of those people that doesn't really, for better or worse, I guess, sometimes worse when you're supposed to be trying to keep track of analytics and things. I don't really do a good job of keeping track of the back end stuff on my channels, but I'm pretty excited, and I figure I'll just throw it out there. If you ever have interest in the ridiculous crap that I actually do stream, I am LotusOfDoom over on Twitch, and I am getting incredibly close to 1,000 followers, which I want to thank all of you who do come and hang out with me, because I stream games. Well, I'll stream ESO, but more impressively, the fact that I'm streaming a game from 26 years ago and everybody comes and watches me die and stuff like that. I really appreciate it. It makes it a lot more fun. I'm glad it's entertaining. So, that's really the main thing. But yeah, as I close in on that, I just wanted to say, thank you everybody for helping me with all that stuff. I know I have like straight up no schedule to speak of whatsoever. So the fact that you all have helped me get as close to a number that big as I am is pretty astounding. So just thanks everybody for that. And I just wanted to specifically shout that out this week.
A follow is
so
free,
close.
folks. Twitch.tv
Yes.
/LotusOfDoom.
And honestly,
Also-
the struggle bus is so great that
Yeah.
you guys just have to watch it anyway. So definitely give them a follow.
Like
all the
tales
mediocrity you
that we
can
get
pack
to
into
listen,
one stream.
you also get to watch them. You get to watch Lotus freak out and lose it in real time, and it is beautiful. It is vulgar every now and then.
Yeah, I was about to say, the only heads up, as some people who have jumped in from one to the other, now that we're not a PG entire stream, it is not quite as jarring. But yeah, I kind of do speak like my normal speaking New England voice, which involves many more colorful vocabulary words. But yeah, it's never meant to like be offensive. But yeah, just my common dialogue is not quite so
Also, I
clean,
mean,
so to speak.
playing Elder Scrolls Arena, you can't keep that PG. That's just
No,
No.
I'm not.
No.
But yeah, I always do like to just give people that disclaimer that it's like, yeah. And it's funny because then, I'll go visit Maddie Gone or Maddie Gone right into me, and it's always so funny. I was like, your stream is so wholesome. It's like, this is not my stream at all, but it's all in good fun, so.
And Pixie.
Well, my final thoughts are that Irene, Queen Irene, I just combined the two, and I messed the whole
Irene.
thing up. Queen Irene is familiar and kind. Also, you can find me at twitch.tv /HyperPixie Gaming and HyperPixie Games on Twitter. I just messed the whole thing up. It was going to be so good. I just broke the whole thing.
That's what you get.
I think it's sweet.
Trying to end the show with that.
Everybody knows what I meant.
But yeah, remember, folks, she is now a Stream Team member as well. So
Yes.
again, a follow is free. Twitch.tv /HyperPixie Gaming. There are a lot of shenanigans, a lot of giggles, a lot of giveaways, and a lot of noob tanking recently. So
Yes.
also a lot of AD propaganda. So I don't know. Like,
Yeah, nobody.
it's,
Everybody loves that.
bulldoze past that bit.
go to her channel and spread the packed pride.
No.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
welcome, but I'll convert you. Don't worry.
So
I'll show
this is
you
what
the
you do.
wonders
You
of Queen
sub to
Irene.
Lotus's channels, which gives you Blood for the Pact access, and then you sub to Pixie's channels, which gives you the hype emote from HyperPixie. So you combine them, and you get Pixie holding 2 Blood for the Pact axes.
Yep.
That's what you can do.
We have a
So-
combo. It's almost like when these were designed, you'd think we had known each other before, but turned out when we first met, our emotes just perfectly worked together where it looked like you were brandishing axes.
See, Ark likes to say that he had no idea I was AD before inviting me, but he clearly invited me just so that monstrosity could happen.
Hey, I may be working against myself from the past, but I am also working against all of you from the present. So, well, this went better than expected, considering all the events of the past episode. I am Arkaniir. You can find me anywhere. That is ARKHANIIR. It's a made-up name, so if you see it, it should be me. I'm on Twitter. I'm on our Discord. We do have a Discord. You should definitely join. We do have also, I should probably mention this. We do also have a merch store now that I keep forgetting to announce or share or do anything like that. It just exists on its own. So now that I remembered that, I should mention it. It's on Teespring, teespring.com/stores/DCN store. There's also a link on our website where you can find everything we do, including links to all of our social media, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Discord. Be sure to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/dungeoncrawlernetwork if you want to help support the show and keep the metaphorical torches lit. You can also leave a 5-star review on iTunes so people know that we are a real podcast, that we say real words, and sometimes it matters, and we will read those on the show. Thank you all so much for joining on this episode of Tales of Tamriel.
Crushed it.
It was going so well, and we will see
Queen
you all
Irene.
next week. Have a great one, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
See you later.
When Akatosh slew Lorcan, he ripped his heart right out. He hurled it across Tamriel, and the heart was heard to shout, red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. The laughing heart sprayed blood afar, a gout on Seer it fell, and like a dart shot to its mark down in an alien well. Magica fused the Lorcan blood to crystal red and strong. Then wild elves cut and polished it down to chimel at a ball. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. When elves lost Nirn to men, Akatosh gave the stone to Saint Alesh in token of her right to sit the throne. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. Red diamond, protect us till the end.